What's up, you guys? We're actually at the old shop today. Well, that's because we're here to do kind of like a wrap up the year video since it's almost 2025. And well, we have some big changes coming to this area, at least with what we got going on. And if you didn't know, or if you've kind of been new to the channel, we've got a couple Z's. Well, I've got what, 4 more at my house that's not here right now. Well, that's a problem. At this point, I have way too many cars. Yeah, I've said that a million times. But recently, I kind of decided any car that we have that has a title is going to be deemed savable unless it is super rusty and it's really just not worth it in any way, shape, or form. So, with that being said, so we have this Z with a title and this part Z with a title. So this red one, I wanted to bring back to give it another chance. I think it's going to turn out to, you know, we're just going to cut it up, send it on its way. I'm going to use it for panels on my personal car. And well, the silver one, it's wrecked. So no one's really going to want a wrecked chassis, at least not for what I have in it. So that's probably just going to get chopped. And in the future, every car that we get with a title is going to be salvageable, or we will salvage it. So with that being said, every single car that we have here right now is going to be used for parts and panels to fix other Z's. And this is stuff I'm going to keep for myself, so that way we can have kind of stock to be able to fix stuff. Because if you guys didn't know, I actually sell Z32 parts, or I work on Z's as well. I'm in the Indiana area, so hit me up if you want to work, or you need work done, or you need parts. Also, hit me up on Instagram or Facebook. Easy way to get at me. This Z right here, unfortunately, it's an Ohio title car. I bought it in Illinois. So I bought it with a jump title. And if you know anything about Ohio, it's not easy getting cars registered over there. If I was just to go fill this out like it was, say, an open Michigan title and register it in Indiana, they wouldn't bat an eye. They would just do a VIN check and be good to go. If I do this with an Ohio car, they're going to send mail to both parties. So that's just a whole mishap waiting to happen, because there's no way I can get in contact with the original owner when I don't even know who the guy is. So this car, it's getting chopped. And I really never had much intention with it. We just wanted the motor out of it, basically, which in turn went over here into my green twin turbo DN1. This is a 95 that we picked up earlier this year. Got it for a killer deal. Paid a little over $3 grand for it. And well, it's definitely got its rust and its few problems, like the tan interior that it had. Well, let's just say we redid all that. We got it all nice and new with a velour 92 interior from that other parts car that's sitting up there. Our goal is to wide body this thing and kind of stance it out, put some wheels on it, maybe repaint it. We want to do that by the end of this year, or next year, obviously, not right now. That gives me like a week or two. Stay tuned for that. I really love this car. It looks so good, and I can't wait to get started on it. But going back over here to this other parts car that we have, this actually has a drivetrain. And well, the previous owner said that he actually changed the head gasket, and well, it blew again after he put it all back together. So that has me thinking maybe the heads are warped because they were never machined, and maybe it needs resurfaced and redone. So basically our goal here is we're going to pull this full drivetrain, even manual swap, everything, pretty much to just turn this into a shell, and we're going to put it over here in our 92 black 2+0. So this I actually got a couple years ago from a friend down in Indianapolis, Joe. This was his pride and joy, and I kind of went the part out route on it. Decided not to, used it as a drift chassis, and well, here we are putting it back together, and we're actually going to flip it, or at least sell it so someone else can enjoy it. We did put some tan interior in this not too long ago and got it all swapped out, and pretty much this thing's just ready for a motor at this point. We have to take the dash out to fix some HVAC pipes, but it's no biggie. It's like a couple hours worth of work. The bay's pretty much all ready, with the exception of a power steering rack. I'm not going to open that mess to get in there. But our main goal previously was to get this thing all black again, and well, we did that with the exception of the hatch. Still think we're gonna maybe wrap that or paint it. I don't know, we'll get there. But we will replace that driver door too, because that thing is crusted. And we're gonna replace this door here as well, because this thing will never be right on this mirror part. Totally crushed. So what, that leaves us to, yeah, I already went over that. We'll use this for parts. It's got so many bad parts The guy that I bought this from literally told me he parted out 4 Z's and put all the good parts onto this one. There were no good parts on this car. It just blows my mind. He must have just been at the junkyard and assembled 4 Z's out of some junked cars. So this silver Z over here, you know, it's actually my old Z. My buddy Brian bought it. Unfortunately, it spun quite a few rod bearings. We gutted this interior, you can see by the tan door panels. We actually put it in that black Z because this is the original interior that was in it. I actually swapped it all over at one point. Well, it's going back home. Instead of parting this thing out, I've also kind of tossed around the idea of sliding it into a wall or giving it to a buddy. Not giving it, but just giving him a super good deal just so I can see it live on. But I don't know, we haven't got all that far, and I really haven't looked under it in a while. I guess maybe we'll check back on that idea or theory once we go to, you know, actually pull the drivetrain, because the engine is still in there. And so is the transmission, obviously. Now, one of the cars that I absolutely love that seems to not get that much love, and that is my white 2+0 1990 300ZX. So if you guys didn't know, this is actually VIN number 3333. Never thought I would ever find a cool VIN in my lifetime, let alone a 300ZX. 3333ZX, if you get what I'm saying. But basically this car kind of just fell into my lap by a buddy. Kind of just got sick of it, needed something more practical and, you know, to free up some funds. I bought it, haven't done much with it. We took the whole engine out to give it a full reseal and regasket. It's just been sitting in there, ready to drop in, except for exhaust manifolds. Might have to ask Matt if he'll sell me his or something and I can use those, because those are like the only ones that don't have crazy broken studs that I can at least still put 2 bolts in on each side and mount an exhaust. But this thing I actually have a killer body kit for that you guys over on Instagram may know about or remember. I'm kind of keeping it a secret, but it'll come very soon, especially because we have a bumper to put on it, because it currently has no rear bumper. And it's got my square G33s because they got bad tires. But yeah, this car, we pretty much, when we did the 2-tone interior swap with my slick top, we did pretty much the opposite with the rest of it here in this car. And we actually got these seats when we bought that Silver Z over in Illinois. He just had these hidden back in his warehouse. Yeah, a little 2-tone going on again. Try to just mainly get this thing where it runs, drives. I can use it as whatever, drive it wherever, keep it NA. Obviously for now, turbos are always cool, but I don't know. Maybe we'll find a cool engine swap for this thing at some point. I really do want to get into an engine swap this next year. And well, not just like the VG engine swap that I want to do with my other car, but I'd really like to maybe start an RB or an LS. I can't believe I just said that, but it's an engine swap, so. But I'm really excited for that. I've got probably everything else I need to finish the car at this point. So I think right now I've really been telling myself I'm going to get over here, get my engine hoist dropped off. We're going to get the drivetrain pulled out of that. We're going to get the drivetrain put in this Z. And we're also going to change the throwout bearing on this car, because that's the only thing that keeps me from driving that or doing anything with it. The throwout bearing is so loud that I feel like I'm just going to blow the car up at any given moment. So that's why you haven't seen much of that lately. Another thing I'm dying to get started on. This is completely dependent on how quick I can get that convertible done and out of my garage so I can get this car over there. But this is my first car. This is my 84 Regal. The car I actually came home from the hospital from being born in, so it's pretty sweet. It's sentimental. I'll never get rid of it, and we're putting a VG30 in it, and we're gonna twin turbo that thing and just make a pretty sweet ride. My idea is to switch all the suspension over and, you know, weld up some stuff, like weld the subframe to the actual frame that this has. But it's a lot of work. It's a big deal, and it's something I want to do right, even though I'm going to be learning on it. But right now, with my no welder having self, even though I finally got power, still got to get the welder from my dad, and we can finally get started on that project. Hope you guys are as excited as I am, because I feel like that's going to be the car that makes our channel. So I'm really trying to get moving on to that, because obviously who doesn't want their channel to grow? And again, thank all you guys who have been watching and stayed loyal to watching all my videos, even the crazy ones, or, you know, thank you. I couldn't do this without you, and I'm very grateful for all of you guys. Now, this brings me to my next car. Well, if you guys remember, I've almost forgotten about it because I've had so much going on the past month or two, including moving, even though it happened after the fact. Well, our 2+2 is actually getting a version 3.0. That I am super excited for, because we found us an 80,000 mile twin turbo long block to put in this thing. So basically we're no longer going to be a non-VTC slow Z. We're actually going to have 300, 400 at the most. I'm not doing anything crazy at all on this build. I want it reliable and something I can put in my daily and keep it a daily. I want to drive this thing as far as I need and not have to worry about anything going wrong. So I think we'll keep the power down just a little bit. We'll keep that high power for the NATT swaps. There's a few other things I got going on for this, like our next video I'm super stoked to show you. And that also brings me to another thing. We are having some sponsor offers, people who want to work with us with products and things. And I just want you guys to know, I'm never gonna like be a cornball and like sell out on you just for a couple bucks. Like, I'm not gonna promote a bad product by any means. That's just, there's enough bad products being used on the Z32 platform. I think it's safe to say we need to change the narrative here. If I do any sponsors or work with any people, just know it's genuine and I think it's a good product. So stay tuned for next video on that one. And also for the upgrade to our Z. I'm so stoked, so stoked. So is there anything left out here other than to call the scrap guy and have him pick them all up? Again, yeah, I'm located in Indiana. I'm about an hour north of Indianapolis, give or take 10 minutes. And if you need any work, like just maintenance, general maintenance kind of stuff, if you want to boost your Z, send it my way. I mean, I can do it. I guarantee you my rate is significantly lower than probably anyone within 400 miles of here. And you know, you may think if it's cheap work, it's not good. Well, I'll treat your car just like it's my own. I'm not going to take advantage of you in any way. I'm sick and tired of people taking advantage of us Z owners. If you couldn't tell from our last couple videos or last series, when unfortunately Joshua was done wrong by a reputable, high up, at least he thinks he is, member in the Z community. So just still trying to spread awareness, trying to do right by you guys. And if you guys, like I said, need any work, you need any parts, let me know. If it's something I can fit in my Z that I can't ship, I'll drive it to you. I don't care, just pay for my gas and a little bit for my time. So hit me up if that's something you guys are interested in, and we'll get you squared away and get your Z back on the road for a reasonable price. So Matt's car, yeah, I know it stinks. Recently we found out we got some bad heads because we've had some overheating, bad lubrication, something, and the cam's grinding in the journal and it's heating the cap up and the bolt is stuck in the cap. So I can't torque it down. We haven't really spoken about it yet. I'm gonna call him or talk to him here this evening. We got two options, and this is kind of what I recommend for you guys doing this NATT swap, just for longevity reasons and maybe reliability, depending on the condition of your hardware, obviously. I recommend upgrading to twin turbo heads if you're gonna make any like crazy power, or you know, you're gonna beat on it a little bit, because the exhaust valves are made of a different material to withstand the heat better. So you have softer valves on an NA. Now, this isn't like it's detrimental or anything. It's just peace of mind kind of thing, like, and it'll obviously last a bit longer. So I do have a nice set of twin turbo heads that we might be able to put on that will get refreshed. We'll lap them. We'll do a video on that, like a full rebuild, because I didn't get to do the full rebuild with the valve stem seals like I'd want to. Now everything is getting to the point where it's looking like we are. If not, we're just going to do a direct swap with other 10Y similar casting heads, and we'll be able to put everything back together like that. We're actually getting the turbos in tomorrow. I'm so stoked about that. I shipped them out pretty much. They got there, and since December 9th they've said, nope, we haven't got nothing, it's out for delivery. Whole time they had it. So that was a big scare on our part. Thankfully we're all good, but I guess we'll go in the shop for a second. As you can tell, it is an absolute crap show in here. Got parts on parts on parts. So since I'm not prioritizing being a part out guy, next year I'm trying to focus on the channel so we can make better content and, you know, grow a little bit, because we're going to set the subscriber goal up here. Usually I don't do that. Like, I set it reasonably that I thought was out of my reach, and we blew it out the water. So this time I'm going to keep that energy And I'm gonna put a goal that is blown out the water basically, and we're gonna double it to 6,000 next year. That's gonna be our sub goal. So we're really gonna work hard this next year and try to achieve that. Well, now unfortunately we're down to our last GoPro battery. Go figure. I know you guys are getting on me about getting the heater and stuff. I'm trying. I'm just, like I said, I'm just trying to sell some stuff right now, get some funds freed up. Got stuff going wrong with the house and this and that. So there's always something that I got to do, and really have been spending money other than where I want to at this point. But sorry for the rant and sorry for the no working videos video. Hope you guys aren't too upset about that. I really just needed to get this little update video out there. Slick top, still the same thing coming next year. I'm trying to get it done. I'm really trying to get it done because the vert is going to be done by spring. I don't care. I don't have to do all the underbody. I did everything else last year. It's down to the easy stuff, and I'm not going to let it get to me, and we're going to finish it out because we're going to finish our slick top and get it fully dollied out and straight for this season, because I want to paint that thing and I want to build it, and I want to put my Gretty exhaust on it. Dang it. That's all I want. I hope you guys have a happy holidays, have a good Christmas, happy New Year, and spend some time with your families or your friends, whichever the circumstance is. Cheers to the progress in 2025, and thank you 2024 for all that you brought. Thank you guys for watching, and if you haven't already, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe down below. Stay tuned for the next video, and we will catch you guys then. Peace.